auch noch mal irgendwas erzählt oder weiß der Geier. Die ganze Aktion dauert also eine Dreiviertelstunde.
Is the world's first parabolic satellite communications dish, completed in 1962 to take part in Project Telstar, built to relay telephone calls and television pictures between the United States, Britain and France. It was a fast-moving, low Earth orbit satellite that was only visible for 22 minutes in any 2-hour period. And it was here, through Arthur, that the first ever transatlantic television pictures were received from America in July 1962. We are now entering a secure site, so please stay together as a tour group at all times and please keep your belongings with you. Communications technology has come a long way since the pioneering days of Arthur. The mobile phones we take for granted today were nothing but the fantasy of science fiction all those years ago. And who would have dreamt, back in Arthur's day, that a time would come when we could hold an Earth station in our hands, a satellite to guide us on our way. Technological advance brings change to all our lives, even to us here at Goonhilly. Not long ago, we were the world's largest satellite Earth station, operating some 64 dishes on our 157-acre site. Now, as advanced fibre optic cables spread out across the globe, these dishes stand silent, with our sister station at Madley, Herefordshire, handling most of PT's SATCOM traffic. Ahead of us now is the original control tower, from which it was correctly set to acquire the satellite Telstar as it rose above the western horizon. To our right, beyond the shrubbery, lies the static water supply, a wonderfully technical name for a pond. However, this is not just an ornamental feature. In 1976, a severe drought led to many wildfires on the Downs, and now water may be pumped from this point to anywhere on the site to contain and extinguish any outbreaks of fire. The Earth station is also protected by fire breaks around the outer perimeter, so in the fires of 76, most of the wildlife, a variety of wildlife inhabits the site, including rabbits, foxes, badgers, stoats, adders and rare moths. The moths are attracted by the rare plants to be found in the area. The dish to our right is Merlin. He's the largest antenna on site, with a diameter of 105 feet or 32 meters. For all his size, he's a comparative lightweight, weighing in at a mere 395 tons, which is around a third of the weight of Arthur. His lightweight is due to the extensive use of aluminium in his construction, whereas Arthur was built of steel here from a giant kit, a task that took our engineers just under a year to complete. Merlin's first live TV transmission was the children's TV program Blue Peter, in which he was the subject of his own broadcast. To commemorate the occasion, Merlin wears his own Blue Peter. Around Merlin, we can see his tubular and sheet aluminium structure. There are air gaps in between the panels which make up the reflector. These gaps allow for expansion of the metal in the heat of the summer sunshine, and also allow a little wind spill, reducing the pressure on the dish in high winds. High winds are common on the Downs. We're 110 meters above sea level, with nothing between ourselves and America but 2,000 miles of Atlantic Ocean, across which the prevailing wind builds in strength until it reaches our speed of up to 140 miles per hour. For a wind farm, such as that we see ahead of us. This wind farm is on a neighbouring estate and is no part of the Earth station. There are 14 turbines in total, each of which can provide enough power to supply around 250 households. BT also has plans to place around 5 or 6 large turbines here on site, which will contribute towards our goal of providing up to 25% of our national power consumption from renewable resources. The two antennas on our right are Lancelot and Varian. Lancelot, on the right of the two, worked alongside Merlin handling a variety of communications traffic, while Varian acted as assistants. Some were very successful, others less so, until the bus stops. Hold your belongings and prepare to enter Project Future. We hope you enjoyed your visit to Project Future. Please be seated, as we will shortly be departing for our return to the Visitors Centre. To our right is advances in technology. It is no longer necessary to build satellite dishes the size of Guinevere, Arthur or Merlin. The larger of the antennas at the base of Guinevere is Ygritte, which has a diameter of 13 meters and was constructed early in 2001. She's an example of the type and size of antennas which are in common use today. These days, the majority of international telecommunications are carried by subterranean and subsea fibre optic cables. There are two such cables here at Goonhilly. Channel Islands 8, which is one of the world's longest unrepeated fibre optic cables, and CME-WE3, which stands for Southeast Asia, Middle East and Western Europe. It leaves Cornwall from Kennock Sands and travels all the way to Australia, carrying nearly 1 million simultaneous telephone calls, internet links and other data traffic. The larger of the dishes to the left is Isolde, one of a cluster of dishes that used to provide financial services to the Caribbean islands on behalf of Barclays and Visa. The flexibility and mobility of satellite communications continues to be a major advantage over fibre optic cables, as you have instant access to your money in remote parts of the world where cable communications are not viable. You can find out more about other aspects of communications in our Connected Earth gallery inside. Until recently, Arthur was the only one of 3 antennas used to track Telstar in 1962 to remain fully functional. During his 47 years of operation, he's had an exciting career, covering everything from the Football World Cup to the moon landings to the Olympic Games. His parabolic design is the forerunner of all the dishes you've seen around the site today, and of your sky dishes at home. Although no longer operating, Arthur is still capable of turning a complete circle on his base and from 0 to 90 degrees in elevation in just 3 minutes. Considering his enormous weight of 1,100 tons, this is a remarkable engineering achievement. Due to Arthur's scientific and historical importance, together with his dramatic visual impact, he was awarded a Grade 2 star listing by English Heritage. This means he'll be with us for many years to come, as Stan created him in those pioneering days of satellite communications. We're now arriving back at the Visitors Centre and the conclusion of our tour. We hope you enjoy.